place looks a lot familiar. Oh yeah, this is the same room where I filmed that weird video where I wore the alien mask. Who knows? Hey guys, this is me, ProfessorTomNook. Alright. Beautiful view, huh? Yeah, I'm on vacation. I'm on spring break, so my mother and I are staying in a hotel for today and tomorrow. It's like a one-day thing. But before, and actually, this feels a lot like, last year. Like I'm bringing my camera to a hotel room at the Hilton Garden Inn, to make something for ProfessorTomNook. And also I get to see a movie that may or may not be good. Last year I saw Admission, which is a mediocre movie at best. Well, at worst it was a mediocre movie. It's somewhat. I give it like a 7. But luckily this time we saw a good movie. So I'll have to give it that. Spoiler alert, it's a good movie. So we went to go see Noah, which is a film I've actually been wanting to see for a while. Like I'd never seen a Darren Aronofsky movie before. I respect the director probably because he's like one of those like young new directors. Well, he's like 45, but he's like one of those young new directors out there. And he's made like so many great movies: Requiem for a Dream, Fighter, Black Swan. I have never really found out much information about The Fountain except for that review of Food Fight that John Trun did, where he's like, is this Toy Story 3 rules, or is this like Fountain rules, in which has no rules? Which sounds entertaining, since a movie that has no rules has to be entertaining. But anyway, I wrote down my notes about the movie, like anything I thought was interesting about the movie, I wrote down in these poorly written notes. Like, it's really hard to write in the dark, who would have thought? But the first part just says, because, well, I went to go see this movie at the Meadowview with my mother, and there was this woman that we're holding the door for, and she was like, I've been wanting to see this movie for, he was like a sort of an African-American woman. I've been wanting to see this movie like for a while now, and I'm hoping it's good because I've been catching up on my scriptures. I actually wish I caught up on my scriptures too, because there's a lot of stuff in this movie I did not remember from Noah's story. Like, I'm a Catholic, or a Christian, whatever. I'm a Catholic. And I still don't, and I barely know the story as much as, I don't remember stone creatures from the original book. Like, okay. There are these things, this might actually be from the original scriptures, but there's these giant rock monsters called Watchers. They're like fallen angels. And they're in the movie a good majority. They help Noah build his ark. Like, they seriously help him build his ark. Like, I thought it was just like, curse you, Weapon Almighty. I always thought it was just like Noah building the ark and his assorted family, but I didn't know there was like rock creatures building it. Hold on, let me just check on, see it. Okay, got 23 minutes left to film this. So how's the movie? Really good. It's like a 10 out of 10. already. I'll just tell you it's 10 out of 10. The film looks incredibly fantastic. Like, incredibly fantastic. The visuals, like, from beginning to end, are just stunning. Like, incredibly, incredibly stunning. There was a lot of stuff from the original scripture that... This might have not been from the original scripture. I'm not sure if there was Okay, so let's just talk about the plot. The plot of the movie is this. Of course, everyone knows the general plot of the film. Everyone knows the story of Noah, pretty much. Like, the story of Noah goes like there's treachery all over the earth. Like, after, like, Cain and Abel's story, there's, like, begat, and then God decides to destroy the earth, so he talks to Noah to say, make me an ark of gopher wood, and bring two of every animal, one female, one male, onto the boat, and, of course, there's a giant flood. It's a story that's all been, like, encapsulated in our minds. This is generally what I expected it to be. Like, this is generally what I expected it to be. I will say this, though. One of the things that also might have made this movie for me was Russell Crowe, because I always knew, like, oh boy, Russell Crowe's gonna play Noah, and there's gonna be action in the film. And there is, like, okay, there's a scene at the really beginning of the film where there's this, like, wounded armadillo dog. Like, I couldn't tell what this creature was. It was like an armadillo and a dog crossed together. And it's wounded, and it dies in Noah's arms when he goes to look at it. And so there's, like, these three poachers all getting up like, hey, you found our meat. And I'm guessing from the look of it, you don't want to make Noah angry by killing animals in front of him, because then he's going to stab you to death with whatever means possible. Because that's what happens in the film. It's like, I'm like, oh, you killed my poor armadillo dog. It's like that. So, it's pretty much the general story. He has, like, 3 sons. Actually, I thought he had a daughter at first, because, but it was, like, Ham, I thought was a daughter at first. Sorry, Lerman. Oh, by the way, this was another thing that made me hesitant. This was the one thing that made me hesitant. 2 of the characters are Emma Watson, are played by Emma Watson and Logan Lerman. If you've seen Perks of Being a Wallflower, you know where I'm going with this. To compare this, I'm wondering if this is going to be, if I had the same worries about what the story might lead to that I do for Divergent and The Fault in Our Stars. Like, okay, they're going to play brother and sister in this film, then they're going to play lovers in this film. It's like, what? So anyway, God tells Noah what's going to happen. Like, there's a flood coming, and that there's going to be a giant flood. And there's this weird thing that signifies, when we're going to look into the dreams of Noah, and it's snake apple death is what I wrote down here. Snake apple death, which is when it's at the beginning of the movie too. It's like, you see, like, in the beginning there was Adam and Eve, and then you see the snake, and then you're seeing an apple being picked from a tree, and then you're seeing Cain slaughtering Abel, and so you're always like, snake apple death. No, it doesn't go like this. It's just like, and they always have a loud noise for that too. It's like, that looks so goofy on this. Okay, what time is it? 18 minutes. Okay. Let's see. So, there's actually a lot of stuff I didn't know about Noah. Apparently, do this film. They had an adopted daughter, played by Emma Watson plays the adopted daughter, who is basic. Okay, this is the part This is the part where my mom told me, "Oh no," it's because Illa, the character that Emma Watson plays, is like, "My daddy always sung me a lullaby," and then Mom leans over me like, "Oh no," and I was like, I thought at first that she meant does Noah have to break the news that her father is dead? But that wouldn't make sense. So I was then thinking for a while, and like, oh no, we're gonna have Russell Crowe singing again. And even he actually sang pretty well in this film. That was the surprising part. Even though I really wanted to just lean over to Mom when Russell Crowe finished singing his lullaby, I'm just like, and I'm Javert. Do not forget my name. This is not quite incest. All right. Yeah. The adopted daughter is in love with biological son of Noah, Shem, or whatever his name was, Shem. Ella and Shem are in love. I actually didn't recognize the actor playing Shem. I looked up later, it was Douglas Booth. Speaking of the cast, where was Nick Nolte in the film? I didn't know that Nick Nolte was in this film at first, until I looked up on IMDb, right after seeing the film. It's wait, Nick Nolte was in this film as Shayaza or something like that. Shayaza. So, yeah, there's a romantic relationship, and that's a hard relationship in the film. It's one of the subplots, many subplots of the film. Because of a childhood injury, in her stomach, Illa is barren with child, and so she wouldn't be able to become pregnant and have the children of Shem. But then they go to Anthony Hopkins, and Anthony Hopkins is the comic relief for this movie. He's like, "Do you have any berries?" "No, Father." "Oh, now I really crave berries." He's like Gimli, but he's obsessed with berries in this film, is what I'm saying. But actually, the scene where, spoiler alert, Anthony Hopkins dies in the film, and he's just he finally finds one berry, he's like, he's just like, "Take me now, Lord. I finally found a berry." It's so, it's okay, that's just awesome. It reminds me something off Roland Emmerich or something, except awesome. Yeah, I already talked about the Rock Watchers. I forgot to talk about the Illa Shem subplot. So Anthony Hopkins gives a magic touch to Illa, right here, someplace. It makes her actually fertile, like in Julius Caesar or something. And so she actually, and this is the part that I'm just okay, this kind of actually made me find it a little bit hilarious. He's immediately blessed, gotten the blessing of Methulius, or whatever the character's name was for Anthony Hopkins. She's just and then Shem finds her, it's Shem! It's she's just Did that get wild? She's just and it's just well, that's nice. Just like that, you're just I finally have this 14 seconds later after just getting blessed, she's just already getting pregnant. And it's there's also a romantic subplot between Logan Lerman and this other girl who is left for dead. And this was actually dark. Logan Lerman is Ham, goes to like the like Sin Village. I'm just gonna call it like Sin City. Mickey Rourke was in it. I think Nick Nolte was in Sin City, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. Hang on. 13 minutes. Okay. There's like this subplot involving like Logan Lerman finding this girl, giving her food is like, well, at least he's finally finding a wife to have in like the new world. But Noah decides like, but then the girl gets caught in a bear trap while they're running from the flood, and Noah is like, just takes Logan Lerman, and the girl's like, no! And you actually see her get trampled to death. Like, no! And it's like, no! That part, I think he finally failed. Like, yeah, there's this line called "I will not fail you." Just like he repeats it over and over again in the movie, and just like, I think that part he probably failed. He probably failed you. So anyway, the Il and Shem subplot. So yeah, she becomes pregnant. And so Noah is upset because for whatever reason Noah's upset about this. Because it's like you're interfering with God, you're playing God or something like that along those lines. And so he promises if the baby's a girl, he'll kill it. And this is the part where that kind of drew me away from making this one of my favorite movies. Just like, why? Why are you gonna kill it if it's a girl? I mean, that would be weird. That would be weird if the girl, like, had no one to mate with. It's such a filthy show. Let me see. Oh yeah, there's a part, like, when she actually does give birth, like, in 40 days. Like, I think it's like, that's a very long period. It's a very long period of time to be pregnant, right? 40 days. And so she's giving birth. And I actually like this part because Shem is just kind of guarding the tent where away from Noah, and just Noah's like, and you just see with a spear in his hand is Shem's just like, and I'm just like, okay. I found it actually kind of funny because it's like, yeah, try and kill my 2 daughters. Oh, spoiler alert, it's twin sisters. And it's a guy, spoiler alert, he doesn't kill them. He just, like, because of the lullaby. This was the part that kind of ticked me off. Because Emma Watson sings the same lullaby that Javert sang. Well, they don't sing music from Les Miserables, but you know what I mean. Sings the same lullaby that she was sung to as a child, and Noah just decides, no, that's too cliche. No. He doesn't stab him. He just like puts the knife down, sticks it in the ark. And so they basically live happily ever after. And it was at that point that Noah got drunk, and because he thought he had actually failed God. No, you failed God when you didn't let Logan Lerman get a girlfriend and just let her die, okay? What else do I got? I'm just gonna take a break. When I get back, I'll talk about the previews. Alright. It's actually quite funny. There was a point in the film where I actually just went to the bathroom, and right outside the bathroom was a showing of Tyler Perry's The Single Moms Club, and I can hear, like, outside of the theater, I could just kind of hear really monotone acting. So, you were right, Brad Jones. And Sarah Lewis, I guess. Tyler Perry does not know how to make a movie. Unlike Darren Aronofsky. See, I transitioned. By the way, the Goonies beach... You know the beach from the end of Goonies? I forgot to mention, like, near the end of the film, I think they go there. Like, There's like a scene where Noah's like apart from his family. He's just like, I have failed you, God. And Emma Watson goes up to him, and you can see these like two rocks in the background that look exactly like the two rocks from the last shot of the Goonies. Like, you know, one skinny tall rock and another giant fat rock. I think that's the same beach. I don't know. There were a lot of times where I felt this film was kind of cliche. Okay, there's this part in the film that actually kind of did make me smile a little bit. Ray Winstone is in the film as the main king trying to go up against Noah. And I did know that there were protesters during like the Noah story that wanted to get on the boat and all got killed. And so he basically said, "You think you can defy me alone?" And Noah goes, "I'm not alone." And I thought, is he talking about the power of God? I've heard that in so many films. He didn't mean that. He meant the rock watchers. Like the Watcher, fallen angel things. And so I'm just like, I don't know if that's cliche or not. I'll cross that off. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Ray Winstone is probably the funniest. Besides Anthony Hopkins, actually Ray Winstone is more enjoyable than Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins is just like berries. I don't know. Maybe it's a Pokemon reference. At one point, Ray Winstone becomes the main villain of the film by sneaking onto the boat by means of breaking through. Like, he literally is breaking an axe, like, to get into the boat. At which point I thought he was immediately going to go, "Here's Johnny." That's seriously what I thought. There was another part where I thought that, speaking of Stanley Kubrick references, I kept thinking that at the part where the birds arrived to be on the boat, I kept wanting to hear the Bird Is the Word song just play in the background. You could just hear, "Is that you, John Wayne? Is this me? Roll the cameras, we're making Vietnam the movie." Oh, and like after the birds follow the snakes, in which my mom has a giant fear of snakes, so I'm just like, snakes. Just like, she's just like, "Thank you, I've raised you so well." She didn't say that, but yeah, that kind of look on her. There was a part in the film where I rolled my eyes. Like, there was this really stupid line because it's when Jennifer Connelly, by the way, Jennifer Connelly is amazing in this film. Like, I can see why she won an Academy Award. Like, I haven't seen anything that she's ever been in. I've never seen Nine. I've never seen A Beautiful Mind. I've never seen Labyrinth. But the only parts of acting I've seen from her is when I watched the Nostalgia Chicks review of Labyrinth, when like they were criticizing her. So that's not very good. When she's saying like, "Please, I was the one who asked Grandpapa," not Grandpapa, grandfather, "Punish me! Punish me!" And it's like, don't punish the child. It's like, I'm not punished. The children will not be punished. We will all be punished. I'm just like, that. You're a good writer, guys. You're good writers, guys. Okay, my vocab is not very good today. Jennifer Connelly just blows it out of the park in this film. She's just incredibly powerful in the scene with the "we will all be punished" line. Like, I might criticize that scene for that line, but she just goes incredibly, like, she's just powerful in that scene. Just like this movie is incredibly powerful. The imagery is just amazing. Like, amazing. Like, there's some parts that are just kind of odd. Like, there's the part where the flood is starting, and like you could just see from an aerial bit, like, and then you just see on the eye, like a raindrop. I'm just like, well, that's nice. And the film ends with rain booms, I'm not kidding. The film ends with rain booms, like actual rain booms. And at first I thought it was a double rainbow, but then it just started making more and more rainbows. That was weird, but it was beautiful. It was like gorgeous. I kept thinking I was going to have a seizure from the visuals of this movie, like because there was like parts in like the creation scenes and when time passes, there's like so much changing that you keep feeling like you're going to have a seizure. But I didn't because I'm not epileptic, but I kept thinking somebody was going to have a seizure in the audience. I should probably get to the previews. I got a preview for Draft Day, which was probably the best trailer out of all of them. Like, Draft Day, I'm probably not going to go see, but it's nice to know that Ivan Reitman's still directing films. Next one is Heaven is for Real, which I've heard great things about the book, but it just never really interested me. Like, I might be Catholic and I just went to go see Noah, but yeah, I've never really been interested in Heaven is for Real. The worst trailer, the stupidest looking trailer in a year of stupid Hollywood trailers, has to be Hercules. John trying on the mind. The Hercules trailer with Dwayne Johnson, like, Dwayne Johnson's an actor. I liked him better in Game Plan, actually. So, the Hercules trailer... Hercules. Yeah, they're remaking the Tarzan video game. If I keep mentioning Hercules. If I mention Hercules enough times. The best trailer, actually, was something that wasn't even a trailer. It was a preview for that new FX show, Fargo, like the adaptation of the Coen Brothers film. It was like during all the mini commercials before the films, the trailers. Fargo actually looked interesting. I'm down with anything that stars Billy Bob Thornton in a TV series. Another thing I forgot to mention before I go, besides the fact that the score by Clint Mansell is brilliant, is that Ray Winstone and Logan Lerman plot to kill Noah. And that was like, it was just, and it kept talking to Logan Lerman saying that, come on, aren't you a man? And, which is kind of interesting, seeing as how I thought that when I was stupid until the part where Logan Lerman actually stabs Ray Winstone, like, to save his dad, going like, now you are a man. And then just dies. That was actually pretty awesome. So, yeah, I definitely recommend this movie. The scenery, like, if not for just, like, the beautiful scenery, just, like, the scenery is amazing. Like, everything's just amazing. Like, Jennifer Connelly, the scenery, the score, Russell Crowe, Emma Watson. Go all see it. Alright, lost all my time. Alright, see you guys.